Let me continue reading what Swedenborg has to say. He says, the next thing, therefore, that the person observes in the course of regeneration is that he or she begins to know that there is an inner person and that the things which are in the internal person are goods and truths which are of God alone. Now, as the external person, when being regenerated, is of such a nature that he or she still supposes the goods that he does to be done of himself, and the truths that he speaks are spoken of himself or herself, and whereas such, being such, he is led by them of the Lord, as by things of his own, to do what is good and to speak what is true. Therefore mention is made of a distinction of the waters under the expanses, and afterwards of those above the expanse. It is also a secret of heaven that man, by things of his own, as well as by the fallacies of the senses, as by cupidities, is led and bent by the Lord to things that are true and good, and thus that every movement and moment of regeneration, both in general and in particular, proceeds from evening to morning, thus from the external person to the internal, or from the earth to heaven. Therefore, the expanse, or internal person, is now called heaven. Now, that's so beautiful. What Swedenborg is saying, what Swedenborg is saying is that when you begin to meditate properly, for example, with my meditation, you begin to realize and to see and to know, and then perhaps to, when you speak, the words come without even having pre-planned them. The words come out of your mouth and you're amazed by what you say. Your mouth becomes your teacher, in as much as that good flows from within when you get your ego out of the way, see? That's the important thing, to get your ego out of the way. And then everything you do and say then comes from within, when your ego is out of the way. And yeah, stuff will come up from below, from memory, from what you learned and memorized, and from traumas that you had and things you heard. And these things will bubble up. They may even come out. You may even say them, but even as you say them, you realize that there's something false about it, something odd about what you said, something not totally true about what you said. You see what I mean? And you see that it's not helpful. And the very fact that you see it already means that you're in the spirit. You're observing the wrong. Right is observing wrong.